Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to the day one video. I wanted to start out by explaining why the day one video is being posted on Thursday the 10th instead of Monday the 7th. Um, as it turns out, I am not a professional video editor, and so that process has been kicking my butt pretty bad. I am starting to get it figured out, so I'm scrambling to play catch up now. Hopefully in the next couple days I'll have that caught all the way up for you. Appreciate the patience and sorry about any confusion that causes. The next thing I want to talk about is the basal metabolic rate. This is going to be the driving force behind my weight loss, at least until we get to a point where I can start implementing more physical activity. So this is driven by your height, weight, and age, and based on those, it's going to give you the number of calories it would take to maintain your current weight. So if you wanted to gain weight, you'd eat more calories. If you want to lose weight, you'd eat less. What we're choosing to do is decrease that number by 20%. And the reason we're doing that is that you're able to decrease your caloric intake by 20% without starting to dip into your muscle content as fuel. So that 20% of that's the 617. So taking away from my BMR, that gives us the 2,469 number. That's going to be what I stick to for the first week until Sunday. And then Sunday, I'll update this calculator with my current weight, and then we'll make that adjustment every week. As far as my diet itself, I had this grand plan to just start eating healthy things, but we decided that in the interest of making this a blueprint for someone to come along and adapt, I should just continue to eat the garbage, and we'll just use my calorie restriction as the main benefit here. The two things that I have committed to doing are eating a multivitamin and also to stop drinking soda at all. And the thought is that that would help my caloric intake quite a bit on its own. Playing in the background, you can see that I've taken pictures of the meals that I ate on this day, starting with a breakfast sandwich that my buddy Brad made for me. Chowed that down. Then for lunch, I had a little bit of jasmine rice, queso macaroni and cheese, sesame chicken, sweet and sour chicken, and then some strawberry Powerade Zero to wash that down. And then finally for dinner, had the macaroni and cheese. No, that's the thick and creamy kind, which coincidentally was my nickname in high school. But enough of that. And then I just drank some fat-free milk with that. The thing to acknowledge here is I am using MyFitnessPal to track all the things I'm eating, which is giving me an idea of how many calories I'm ingesting. Um, it I can't read, I'm sorry to admit, so when I was initially making the macaroni and cheese, I read the caloric content as the uh, just the cooked noodles and not the prepared side. So I ended up going over my calories by maybe a couple hundred. Not a big deal in the grand scheme of things. The next thing I'd like to talk about is the physical aspect of the project. I have asked my buddy Brian to be a part of this, and he has kindly agreed to do so. Brian is the strength and conditioning coach currently at the high school we both graduated from. He has a wealth of knowledge in fitness and health in general. I've asked him to come along and partner uh, with me on this just so that there's some structure and direction to the physical part. If it was left up to me, it would be a giant mess. So I appreciate Brian for doing that. Um, Whenever I say that we've decided, it's because I'm speaking in reference to Brian and I meeting and deciding that something is the best thing to do going forward. Um, so, talking with Brian, we've agreed that just like with the diet portion of the project, the exercise portion should be easy to adapt also. So, instead of going nuts, doing all kinds of crazy things, we're going to start from the ground up. That's Brian's philosophy, build the body from the ground up. So to begin with, we've got a couple ankle mobility drills that are just there to do just that, just improve my ankle mobility. We've got the 10-minute walk just to start building a cardio base, and then we've got a grip strength exercise. Um, that's a part of this just because I've got high blood pressure, and there's a correlation between grip strength and lowering blood pressure or lowering the risks of high blood pressure. More to come on that. Um, but that's it. That's all we're doing every day for the first week. We're just building a foundation that we can build on going forward. In the background, you'll see my exercises playing out at 4 times speed. The first is the ankle mobility exercise. It's just laying one foot sideways and hanging the other foot over it just to create some lift so that you can do some ankle circles. I did 30 seconds each direction and then switched foot and repeated. The second one is just to stand flat footed close to a wall and to lower your knee to touch the wall. And then if you can do that flat footed, back up a little bit, do it again. Get to a point where your heel feels like it's going to come off the ground, and then I'm just repeating it for about 15 repetitions. After that, it'll pass to my grip videos. Brian has asked me to do 2 minutes of holding 35% of my maximum grip with each hand, and then I'll repeat that twice a day. Uh, my maximum grip I recorded at 119 pounds for my left hand, 117 for my right. They both wind up as decimal places of 35 pounds. So I'm attempting to keep 35 on the dynamometer as best I can. If you don't have a dynamometer, I would say that it would be easy enough to roll up a piece of fabric like a shirt or a towel and just squeeze, feel your grip, and that's about what I'd equate to the 35%. So if you wanted to, that would be a good way to replicate that, I believe. And then I wanted to circle back to my blood pressure. On October 2nd, my doctor recorded my blood pressure at 176 over 102, and he suggested that I started to take something for it. I agreed, and he put me on hydrochlorothiazide, and I'm going to take that until I can get my weight and my blood pressure down to an acceptable level where I can come off of the medication. Um, this is another reason for the grip implement, as I said before. Uh, the studies have shown that having good grip strength can lower your blood pressure by 10%, and so we wanted to include something in the exercise that would attack that part of the project as well. I will include links in the description for the BMR calculator and also an article referencing the grip strength to blood pressure correlation. And lastly, I wanted to just say a few things. I wanted to welcome any feedback that anyone has for me. I'm brand new to pretty much every part of this, so any tips or things you see that I could do differently would be greatly appreciated. I am aware that I'm letting my nervous ticks into the video. Also, I'm spraying the video with so all the filler words, so I'll work on that as I go. But anything you can think of, you're more than welcome to comment. And I also wanted to thank everybody that's taken the time to interact with me so far. The channel trailer that I made yesterday, or I finished editing yesterday anyway, has right now 62 views, 5 likes, and the channel has 7 subscribers. And just that start alone is so super cool to me. I appreciate everyone taking the time. Um, you know, it's just really awesome. So as we go, if you could like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, that would help me blow it up. We'll see if we can't um, help me out and maybe help some other people out as well. And then the last thing is everyone who's reached out to me with the kind words and the words of encouragement. You guys make my heart bleed. It's got me fired up to do this every day. I think with you guys' support, this weight and blood pressure doesn't stand a chance. So I'll end on that. Thanks again, everybody, and I'll see you in the next one.